Good evening once again. So, the time has come to record another video. So, down the mountain. Today is the second day of me going down the mountain before finishing up the year. So, this video is going to be slightly shorter, and I have a little bit of an experience from yesterday. So, now I know a bit more. I'm one step closer. So, let's go. In the previous one, I mentioned my past from pretty much the day I was born until the day or the period of my life when I hit the void, the abyss, when many things that were kind of bad happened, and I found myself in a position created by my own actions that were directed by lack of knowledge about many important things, including managing my finances, building right type of connections and relations, and as well being very insecure and having low esteem. So I was thinking that some other people's ideas were better than mine, even when I was actually thinking that, hey, actually this doesn't seem to be right. But even though having these thoughts, I persisted with taking actions that weren't really aligned with my own needs. So I found myself in the situation that was pretty dire, and then something magical happened because I found my art amid the abyss and all of the things that were happening around me at that time. I was writing some short kind of poems in Polish, and I noticed that they were very profound, important, and I knew then that there is something within that is worth pursuing. To allow myself to survive, I had to find a job abroad, and I found a job as a waiter. I never worked like this, especially not anywhere abroad, and having about 15 poems, I moved to France. When I found myself there, obviously I started to work and do everything that was necessary, but in my free time I was writing more and more poetry, and I consider this time as exceptionally potent in my life, something that allowed me to know that there is something within. Yes. When I was working, I was thinking, and when I was thinking, then when I was free, I used all of these inspirations that I got throughout the day to write more and more poems. At some point, when I had about 55 different poems written in Polish, I thought to myself, hey, well, actually I can just start to write something in English. And I did, because I felt still quite lost and directionless, I named this version of my poetry a speechless nothingness, because the Polish poems were called twórczości nicości, so this at that time seemed to be like a correct translation. So I wrote in total about 20 of those, and at that time I brought with myself to France a DJ console, the DDJ 400, and I was doing some mixes. I was just learning, kind of, and having fun, a very wild type of fun. And I ended up having quite a few mixes that were pretty good as well, and I will use them a little bit later on my YouTube channel, because ever since I kind of stopped, it was in 2022, I haven't picked the console anymore, because I decided that I needed to become a fundament for what's inside of me, so I and others can see a value in me. Not meaning the money, but that actually as well. I just wanted to show my beliefs, and well, I just thought that there will be somebody that can believe with me. It's kind of at the moment inspired by the first of them poems in English. And when I saw what I've written so far, I decided that I needed to rather focus on pursuing this piece of my being, of just writing the poetry, being a poet. I wasn't really able to focus on two things and preferred to just become more proficient in the terms of writing. That's one, but I had no idea what to do with what I've written and how to start sharing it. And ever since, a long journey began, and I thought out a way of how to present my poems in Polish by first making some small illustrations to each one of them, and finding a way of how to make this karaoke vibe type of videos where there was my voice as a background and the lyrics were just showing up along my words. So I found out a way. I did it. It was in beginning of August 2022, after spending there in France 2 months. And when I first shared them on Instagram, I fell once again into the void because of wind in the void. And I didn't know what to do next, and I got so super lost, and it persisted for about 2 weeks. I wasn't sure how to go further, and I had this thought that, well, I can just go to the supermarket, get myself some markers, some paper, kind of like this glue, to make some drawings that I can later attached to the walls of my room. And that's the way a very important part of my art emerged from non-existence. Because when I started to make drawings, I just couldn't stop, just like with the poetry. I made quite a few of drawings, some art that helped me to cope with what was inside. And once again, I kind of hit the void because I wasn't sure what to do after. And by that time, I was thinking about writing some more and more, but I haven't written by that time for some months. And I just ask myself, what do I want? Czego chcę in Polish. And after a few tries, I managed to write my longest until now piece called Czego chcę. That was very extensive, and I had in mind that in about few months my contract in France is going to finish, and I didn't really know what I would do next. And all I knew was that I wanted to become an artist and somehow make these dreams reality. So the idea came to my mind that I can try to make a great kind of video, because it was something that no one else could mess with, and I could just give myself another proof that there is something great within me. And one thing is to write a poem, but something different is to make a music video to this poem. So I made a scenography. I imagined what could be good to show, to illustrate the lyrics, and I came up with this extensive idea. And when this was ready, I focused on making a very, very precise plan of how to do it, having in mind that I didn't have that much time, and I got super obsessed. I couldn't think about anything else, and for about 1.5 months I was working all the time, especially in the last 2 weeks before sharing it. I didn't sleep that much, because before work I was working, and after work I was doing the same. So if I was starting my shift at 8 a.m, I was waking up at 4, so I would have this 3.5 hour approximately of doing something. I wanted to share it on 24th of December, so for the Christmas Eve, because for the Christmas Eve we in Poland give the gifts, well, not we, but the Santa Claus, obviously. But my idea was that I had quite a few bad memories regarding Christmas, and this Christmas, far away from home, I wanted to give myself a present that will be something that I can see in the future, a proof of dedication, something as unique as possible. So, of course, the days passed and I was working on it. I managed to finish it on 24th of December. I gave myself this gift. I posted it on YouTube and I had this idea that, well, I can start to kind of share it with a broader audience by posting some just posts with a link on some Polish social medias. And the first day I got about 500 views, some subscribers, but then again I hit the void and I wasn't sure what to do next. And once again my situation seemed a bit dire, and my contract was finishing on the 2nd of January 2023, and someday by this time on the new year 2023 I said to myself that I definitely need to learn a super valuable skill of creating websites with Webflow. I just, from the moment I saw it, I knew that this is something I need to know in order to become able in the future to share my ideas, to bring them to reality. So, my contract finished. I was able to stay in France for a few weeks in my room without needing to work, and I was focusing on just first finding some ideas on how to even start. Yeah, and spent my time there. I made some drawings that were inspired by my actions of making this video reality. That later on became a starting point for Magic-Full Colors. So the reason why I was actually learning how to do the websites, something that I managed to finish in this year at the end of October. But I left France, I went back home, and I spent there 2.5 months in my room, and I was just doing the websites. First I had this idea of starting a like web design kind of agency. I thought that becoming a freelancer would allow me to have more time to focus on my art, to just provide myself a mean to an end that could benefit the end later on. So I had this idea of making this website for my agency, and I actually managed to learn how to do it from the ground up. I finished the website, and then once again, obviously, I hit the void. So if I hit the void, let's go into darkness once again. Let's go into the darkness once again. Later, when I realized that it won't work because having a website and kind of knowing how to do one website won't be enough to have an agency of making websites, because it requires a way more informations that I just could not acquire in my life circumstances. And once again I said that I need to find myself a job first. I tried in Poland, and I got some offers. And while I was on the kind of almost 1 week kind of trip between cities in Poland, I had this great, amazing idea that still isn't brought into reality, but I have some intentions of getting close to it someday in the near future. And when I came back, I decided, damn, I just need to find a job abroad once again, because I still had to provide enough resources, money, to pay for my mistakes. And I would not be able to do it in Poland. So, because in Poland we use a different currency, which is worth less than euros, and I said, well, Ireland would be a good place for me. And I contacted the agency that found me a job in France, and I called them on Monday, 8 a.m. when he opened. I said who I am, where I want to go, and he said, okay, send me a CV. I sent. Well, it took me like 30 minutes to make it. And after 20 minutes, I got an answer that, yeah, you got the job, and they asked if you can be ready to work in like a week there. So I said, oh, well, it went fast. And I found myself a job in Ennistimon, County Clare, in Ireland. I called this place, well, which is, by the way, beautiful, and just next to it there are cliffs of Moher, but I was calling this place the end of the world, because 2 kilometers from there was Atlantic Ocean and nothing there. So I went there to Ireland. I was working, I was meeting people, some artists, very artsy kind of place. So I really did spend my time there well, and it took me about a year of living there, and using my knowledge that I acquired of making this website for my agency. I was working on this project of mine of Magic Full Colors from the ground up. I was thinking about how to do it, and when I had the idea, then I needed to find out how to make this idea a reality. And months passed. I made some art, some poetry, I met some people, and I was constantly just focused on making my dreams reality, because it was the only thing I felt like doing. By the way, I'm on the same spot in Sariselka in northern Finland. So 1 year I spent there working on how to do it. I want to make this video slightly shorter, so I'll try to get more to the point, but if I start to speak about something, I just cannot stop. I can speak for the whole day, and I don't have that much of a percentage on my battery, and it's quite cold, so it's going down fast. Yeah. After a year, I didn't feel right in a job anymore, and I needed a change. I was living in a super small room, like ultra small, but I have a very good memories from there still. I enjoyed in many ways working there, and I learned so much as well, because when I came there I was very scared about making some like normal type of jobs. I was scared of changing kegs because I'll break something. I was anxious to make cocktails because of some reasons, and I had to just go through my fears and insecurities to be able to speak to you right now. And I accepted, and I was finding out actively what to do to make my dreams reality. And after this year, I felt that I need to change, and it being far away, not many possibilities were present there. So I wanted to get closer to civilization, and I thought that, well, Netherlands is going to be a great place for it. And I made a CV and started to randomly, well, not randomly, I would just had this idea of sending CVs to hotels that had restaurant, just like the where I was working in Ireland and in France. So I was sending my CVs, and I've sent about 100 in one day. And the first answer I got, one of the only ones I got, maybe I got from the 100 mails 3 answers, and the first one was that they sent me a link to some agency that could potentially help me. And the next day I contacted them, and they actually had this offer. But what I wanted to mention, now I remembered, is that when I was doing everything that I felt necessary, the CV and motivational letter, I had this feeling, this premonition that it would do me good if I found a job somewhere close to the sea, somewhere on one of them islands in Netherlands. And when I contacted them, they said that they actually have one active offer on the biggest island, Texel. And long story short, I got this job. So I had this feeling before even finding a job that it would do me good to find myself in such a place. And that's exactly where I found the job. So this is the universe working toward my well-being. I went there, and it was a very nice type of work. At some points a bit hard, but I really did enjoy working with the team of this restaurant I Have Ice, and there was a lot of laughter and generally good vibes, for which I am grateful. So when I came there, I didn't have my website ready, so I was working on it pretty much for another like 6 months, and with some breaks to do some other things, and generally to find my way through it. I really did enjoy my time on Texel because it's an absolutely beautiful place, especially the little town village of De Koch, where I was living, like 10 minutes from the beach, which is absolutely gorgeous, next to a national park of sand dunes. It was absolutely beautiful. So I was actually coming to an end of living there, and only on the last days before I left the Netherlands, I managed to fulfill the intention of sharing my art with the world, with the civilization, so to say. And at the end of October, I managed to find, to finish my website, and as a way to start sharing, I had this mission in Amsterdam that I came up with some idea of art that could be kind of easily made, something unique, something mine. So on one side it was printed page, on the second side there was a drawing, so I made 40 of those to give to the people as a promotional action, so to say. yeah, like a marketing. I saw someone that was looking interesting to me, so I said, "Hey, I'm this and that, la la la," and here you go. Because these people one day will be able to say, "Hello, I met this guy there, and he gave this to me." I just wanted to give some art. So these were the A4 format, but as well I printed out A3 format with some informations written on the back side of it, and this was a print of a art piece that I did in the Netherlands, something very strongly connected to darkness within, to the void. And I was working like super anxiously because I was already leaving the Netherlands to the place where I am right now. And on the day, on the 26th of October, when I had this mission, I actually finished this website in a state that it is at the moment at 5 a.m. and yeah, it was a hassle. I won't lie, it was a hassle. I went to the Amsterdam. The small thingies I was giving to the people, the bigger A3 thingies I was just dropping through the cracks under the doors to museums. Long story short, no one answered in any way, and the art pieces were laminated as well. I bought myself a laminator to make it as permanent and secure as possible in my given circumstances. And so yeah, it was before I was leaving the Netherlands, but I was leaving on purpose to go somewhere else so I could change the scenery. And I'm here right now in Finland because at the end of beginning of September, end of August, I knew that I need to change soon my life circumstances, my place, and I thought that maybe Finland and working in Lapland could be a good idea, and I was obviously right. And this was maybe not my idea, but something sent from the universe. Okay, I have 10%, I need to be fast. So, beginning of September, I made a CV, I made a motivational letter, and I started to connect. And I found out that at the beginning of September there was a online event on a website called eures.com, where there are some kind of events regarding job seekers and job givers. And in few days there was an event of work in Lapland. I participated in it, and through this I connected with the agency that found me a job here where I am right now in Sariselka. So I had a date when I needed to leave, when I was starting, and when it was the best date to finish the website. I was working like crazy for months prior. I managed. I came back. I started to pack my things, and after 4 days, I was already gone from the Netherlands. So I managed to fulfill my intention of sharing my art with the wider audience. And I came here, and I'm already here for past 1.5 months, and I'm working on the rest of the things. But finally well, like I'm starting to become way more confident in being able to really start sharing my art, and just like I was doing in Ireland, just like I was doing in France and in Netherlands, I spent all of my free days and free moments, and I'm thinking as well during working about ideas. I try to grab as much as I can to propel myself forward with ideas and active actions upon them. So I literally now work on top of the mountain in a hotel. Now I'm coming back because I was closing the place, and I'm happy that I'm here. Glad that I speak to you, myself, in fact, because I did post my first video I recorded yesterday, but obviously the view count isn't highest. Only one person opened it and probably clicked away after a moment. So I'm not sure whether it's working, but I know one thing. I'm finally doing something to get across. I'm just walking still down. I'm not in the valley, in a green valley, lush valley of of sharing my art. I'm still kind of on top of the mountain. I'm just going down. I see where I'm going. It's somewhere down below. I still don't know many things, and that's the way it is. Everyone that is doing something had to start somewhere, and it took me a lot of time just to even become able to start sharing. Now it's time to share, but this in itself is a hassle, is a not an easy task. So most probably no one at the moment is going to see these videos. Maybe in the future some of you will see them, or me, myself. But the most important from my current point of view is that I'm doing, I'm working, and I'm trying. And because of that, I get ideas. And more I do, the better I get, the more informations, the more data, and eventually I'll manage to break through. And then it will start to be something else. For the moment, I am a waiter creator. I wait tables to get my bread. But one day will come when I am not a waiter anymore. When I am able to commit 100% of my time during the day to develop my craft even further. But until this day, I need to do whatever I feel is correct or necessary so I can actually make this all happen. So for the moment I am a waiter creator, but one day I'll become a full-time creator, an artist that has an audience. So, keep up with the good work, just like I do. I try to do my best, and I know that one day it will pay off. Thank you very much, Marcin. Thank you very much, Marcin. Dziękuję Ci bardzo. Nie wiem, gdzie jesteś w tym momencie. Ja jestem w tym momencie w Sariselce. Parują mi okulary. O. Słuchaj, nie wiem gdzie jesteś, nie wiem co robisz, nie wiem z kim przebywasz, jakie są twoje relacje, ale wiem w tym momencie, że jesteś artystą. Może jesteś na pewno dalej. Jak daleko? Tego nie wiem. Ale Marcin z przeszłości jest podwaliną dla Marcina z przyszłości. I pamiętaj, doceniam twoją pracę. I moje magiczne kolory, Magic Full Colors, to jasność umysłu, czerwień ciała, moc kreacji, złote ekspresji, naturalność. Potem kolejna grupka. Uwaga, wysiłek, wytrwałość. Kolejna grupka. Cierpliwość, sens, motywacja, balans, przeczucie, odczucie, dualność. I ostatnia grupka. Wola, obecność, docenienie i bliskość. Jesteś bliżej siebie na pewno, gdziekolwiek jesteś w przyszłości. I fajnie.
Jak to się wyłącza?